video I want to show you how to make this cute little carrot top utensil holder. Perfect for your Easter table. And you have a cute little tag on here. So what you want for this project is this cheat sheet that I'm giving you. It will show you the dimensions, the scoring, how big the project is, where to cut, and all that. It is going to be in the notes underneath this video. You can just click to get the link for that. So what you're going to need is some sort of word set for the tag. So I've got many more here, which is great for hippity hoppity. There's also Teeny Tiny Wishes that has a Happy Easter in it and Just For You. I love this one here from the garden with the fresh picked for you. Thought that was appropriate for the carrot. You're also going to want the modern label punch. I've got some cotton baker's twine here. Mossy Meadow ink is what I use for the tag. Scissors, I've got my regular paper snips and the fringe scissors. A 1 1/8 inch hole punch, some sticky strip, pencil, paper trimmer with a scoring blade. For cardstock, I'm using this 2014 to 2016 color stack, but you can use any paper you want. I just like this one because it has in it Mossy Meadow as well as Tangalo Twist. So those two are making up my carrot nicely. And the size you're going to need, this is 7.5 by 6 inch, the orange. And then the part that I'm going to use for the topper, this is 3 1/4 by 2 inches. I'm also going to use a piece of scrap white paper to make the tag. So I'm going to start by marking up this piece of paper. So what you need is a ruler and a pencil. And I'm going to take the top. Now this is the opposite side to the side I want to use, so it's the back, if you will. And on the 6 inch side, I'm going to mark it at 1 1/4 and 4 3/4. Now this is in the measurements I've given you. Then I'm going to do the bottom, and just so the marks work out so I can see them, I'm just going to turn this around. So now this is the bottom, again still on the 6 inch side, and I'm going to make a mark at 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3 1/2, and 4 1/2. Now still on the bottom side, but on the longer part of it, so this is now 7 1/2, I'm going to make a mark here at 2 1/2 inches. I'm going to do the same on this side. So now I'm going to take this piece that I've marked and I'm going to score it based on those score marks I did. So what I want to do is I want to take the first one at the top and I want to angle it down to the middle one on the left. What I'm looking for is a shape that's going to look like this. So you can see the score mark goes along here like this. So I'm going to line up in my paper trimmer, and I'll zoom in here in a second, this tick here on the trimmer and this tick here on the trimmer. So you, and for cutting blade, move it out of the way. You can see them here in my little window. I'll zoom in so you can see that. You see my one little tick right here, and then the other tick is here. So I'm going to use a scoring blade, and you know it's a scoring blade because it's the lighter color, the lighter gray, so it does a lighter touch, so scoring. And I'm going to just run that along there like that. I'm going to do the same thing with this one and the other interior one. So again, I'm doing this fold now. Just lining it up in here. You probably can't see this on the camera, but I can see very well the pencil mark right in the track, so I know it's lined up. Like that. And I'm also going to score a 1 inch line along the bottom. Rather than go like this and have no way to hold on to that paper, turn this around. There's actually a ruler mark on this side. So I can just line that right up at 1. And I'm going to do a score mark along the bottom. I'm going to go back up. This is my top. And this time I'm going to move the scoring blade out of the way and I'm going to pull in the cutting blade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mark that I made at the 2 1/2 and line it up with this piece and cut off the edge. So I'm just cutting off this extra piece right here. So again, lining that up so that I can see those 2 marks in my track. Cutting that off. And I'm going to go to do this one. It's a bit awkward again because I don't have a spot to grab my paper, so I'm just going to flip the whole thing around. That's the same idea. Lining up the marks in the track. Okay, I'm done with the paper cutter. So now I'm just going to fold this on my score lines. I'm going to start with the the bottom fold. This is just a way to hold the utensils in. And then this one here. And notice I'm folding it so that my pattern that I want to show is on the outside. And this one here. They're a little hard to see on pattern paper, but you can see them and feel them. Okay, so that's all the pieces. Now, as you can see, when I fold this up, now what we've done by taking off that edge is it's just going to fold really nicely, and then this is going to fold up like that. Now, just to make this slightly less bulky, I'm going to cut out this one square. Not essential if you don't do this, but it certainly makes it easier. I'm just going to follow the square marks and just cut off that little piece, or rip it. So now when I fold this up, that just folds up nice and easy. So that's pretty much the guts of how that's done. I'll show you how to put it together in a second. First, I'm going to just take my fringe scissors and use them here. So decided how long you want this to be. So I'm going to go about like that, leaving enough space. There's about 1/2 inch here, maybe about 1/4 inch to tape it, just depending on how long you want your carrot tops to be. These are so fun, these scissors. So you'll need some sort of adhesive for this. You can use your sticky strip. I'm just going to use snail, just for quickness on the video. And I've just put that on the side that I want to show. And I'm going to stick this in between my 2 pencil marks, which I can still see. See, well, that's where the score lines are. Like that. Just make sure it looks okay from the front. Okay. And now I'm going to put sticky strip to hold this down. And what I want to do is I'm going to put tape on this edge and on this edge. So right here, and then about another inch right here. So when I'm using sticky strip, I like to use not my good scissors. You know, just some cheap scissors that you might have, just so it doesn't wreck. You get them all gummy and sticky. So, and then the trick to sticky strip is give it a good rub, make sure it's sealed, and then it makes pulling that tape off super easy. Okay, I'll fold that piece over, fold this piece over, give it a good rub. I'll do the same down here, another piece. A good rub. It's overhanging a little bit, just tuck it in. Like that. So that is the base of the holder. So I'm going to now take my twine. This is probably 12 inches or so. I usually just do it right on the spool so that I don't waste any. But if you had to cut it, I would say about 12 inches. Gives you lots of room to tie it a knot first, and then I'm going to leave enough room to tie a bow after. Okay, so let's stamp our saying. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow ink. I'm going to do hippity hoppity. I thought that was cute. And I have a tip for you. Just take this, using your punch upside down, you're going to see exactly where you're going to punch it out. But if you take your pencil and put a little mark right there, and take your hole punch, it's easy to line that hole punch up on a bigger piece of paper than it is once you've punched it out. Like that. I'm going to go back in, center that again, and now that is perfectly lined up. So last step is I'm just going to tie this little tag on here. Okay, and it's already secured on here, so I'm just going to tie a bow now. So I'll start with a big loopy bow and just adjust it to make it look pretty. Cut off those ends. And then your cutlery, or your napkin, or whatever you want to put in there, just slide in there and look really pretty on your Easter table. Be sure to check back to stampwithjenn.com for other project ideas. Thanks for watching.